Katya sat by the window and watched the children go somewhere in a crowd. Probably to the river, she thought. For her, of course, no one will come and call with her. They weren't friends with her. In their small village, the girl was, as they say, an outcast, and all because she was fat. Mom called her affectionately my sweet, and of course, I was worried that the girl would not stay hungry. After all, she loved her very much. Mom's care and love have borne fruit, and Katya, at the age of 15, weighed 95 kilograms. It was very difficult for the girl to walk. She has never participated in any events. She has never been taken to games either. Gradually, from year to year, Katya became more and more lonely, and at the age of 15, only my mother was left. She was the only one who understood the girl and loved her for who she is. At school, the boys always laughed at her. The girls also did not lag behind. Although Katya was always ready to help, the girl studied well. She did everything perfectly well, wrote an essay for herself and half of the class, hoping thereby to gain the favor of the guys. But it didn't happen. Because of her naivety, the girl did not understand that she was simply being used. She was constantly crying, complaining to her mother, and her mother always had a delicious cake in stock for the girl to drown her sorrows in it. And so it continued until graduation. Graduation was approaching, and Katya really wanted to go, because Anton would be there. She had loved him since elementary school. He was the most beautiful boy in the class, and probably in the whole school, and Katya understood that she had no chance. But, as they say, hope dies last. Therefore, the girl decided to go to the prom necessarily in a beautiful dress. If only she had known then how this love would turn out for her. The girl came back from graduation in the morning, all in tears. She didn't say anything to her mother, and she didn't leave her room for the next day. Mom Katya could not understand what was happening to her daughter. She tried to bring her to a conversation, but Katya stubbornly kept silent and only cried. In the end, Mom gave up and decided to leave everything as it is, like when the girl wants to. She will tell everything herself. And Katya was silent. If she used to go out for a walk at least sometimes, now she doesn't. She was a recluse. If Mom insisted that Katya go out for a walk, then it came to hysterics. Mom understood that something terrible had happened at the graduation, but she didn't know how to get her daughter to talk. She became worried, and for good reason. One day, when she returned home, she saw something that divided their life into before and after. Mom called her daughter for dinner, but she didn't come down. Mom knocked on the door, but it was quiet, and the door was closed from the inside. Anxiety crept into my heart. Mom quickly ran to the neighbors for help, and they broke down the door. Entering the room, they saw Katya lying senseless on the floor. There was an open jar of pills next to it, where she got the sleeping pills. For everyone remained a mystery. An ambulance was called. The girl was taken to the intensive care unit. Katya was pumped out. Mom managed to do it in time. The doctor invited my mother to his office. "Did you know that your daughter was pregnant?" he asked. Mom sat down on a chair, covering her mouth with her hand. She could not guess in any way. "Judging by your reaction, you didn't know," the doctor continued. "Unfortunately, the child could not be saved. Only time will tell how poisoning will affect your daughter's health and whether she will be able to have more children in the future. Why she did it, you need to find out. The child keeps everything to himself. God forbid the situation will repeat, and then we may not have time." The doctor looked at the woman carefully. "What should I do, doctor?" The mother was crying so hard. She was very afraid of losing her daughter. "Just a conversation. Go to your daughter." And she went, on the wobbly legs of his Katenka. The girl was lying alone in the ward. Mom sat down by the bed and said, "Daughter, let's talk. It can't go on like this anymore." Katya silently nodded in agreement. "What happened at the prom?" "It all started from the same time." And the girl nodded again. "Will you tell me?" Mom looked at her daughter, and there were tears in her eyes. The girl nodded again and began her story. "Then they invited me to come with them. All my classmates. I was so happy, Mom. Finally, I think I waited. Everyone was drinking there, having fun. Everything was great. And then Anton called me to follow him, and I went. After all, I told you that I love him. We slept with him then, and when it was over, I confessed to him that I was in love with him. I believed that he would confess to me in return, and he laughed so angrily and said that he just lost at cards with the guys, and they put sex with me on the line. That is, whoever loses sleeps. Can you imagine, Mom? He went out, and they all entered the room, laughing, taking pictures. I ran home then. It was a shame to go out on the street. And when there was a delay, I did a test and realized that I was pregnant. I couldn't stand such a shame and decided to commit suicide. You're just early, Mom. Understand, I can't live like this. Everyone laughs at me, pokes his finger, and I'm alive. I can feel everything. Katya's mother cried with her daughter. She understood that she was primarily to blame for her daughter's troubles. Mom allowed her daughter to gain so many kilograms. It was she who had to help her daughter come back to life now, otherwise she could lose her daughter completely. After leaving the hospital, they left. Where and how far no one knew. The apartment in the village was not sold, and a year later, my mother returned. Katya was never there. At first, the neighbors figured out what and how, where they say, where the child is, but the mother stubbornly remained silent. She wasn't going to tell anyone anything. Gradually the passion subsided, and everyone forgot. 15 years have passed since then. Life in the village flowed as usual, and then one day the news swept through the village. Katya the fat woman is back. Of course, anyone who knew Katya wanted to look at her. After all, so many years have passed. That evening Katya satisfied their curiosity by going out for a walk around the village. My mother walked beside me, proudly raising her head. After all, not every woman can boast of a beautiful daughter and 4 grandchildren in the village. Katya wanted to find all her classmates, especially Anton, and say thank you to them. After all, if not for their bestial attitude, she would have lived in her terrible body. And then, 15 years ago, her mother took her to her grandmother in another city. The grandmother, seeing the condition of her granddaughter, contacted her friend. He worked as a coach at the school. The girls then adjusted the nutrition, made up a training schedule. For a whole year, her mother and grandmother monitored her diet. Mom decided then to support her daughter 100% and began going to the gym with her. Grandma also decided to keep up. It was hard, but it was getting easier and easier every month. And 6 months later, in the gym, she met a colleague in misfortune. Misha, he too, was trying to lose weight and return to a full life. They began to meet, attend training together, and Mom realized that the girl had come to life and there was no need for her anymore. Therefore, a year later, my mother returned to her native village, leaving the girl to build her personal life and live in a new way. A year and a half later, Katya and Misha got married, and 2 years later, their first daughter was born, then my son, and then 2 more daughters in one day. Katya never thought that she could be so happy. She forgot that prom like a bad dream. And now she lived a new happy life. Katya, hearing a woman's voice, the girl turned around. There were girls standing nearby. She recognized them as her former classmates, who at one time were reputed to be the first beauties in the village. They looked at her with wide-open eyes, in which surprise, envy, and misunderstanding were read. The woman looked at them and smiled. In front of her stood ordinary ants, plump and unkempt. Katya didn't show it, but deep down she was elated. Mom. She turned to her mother. Anton where? What have you heard about him? Did he get married? Your Anton is sitting. They gave me 7 years. Whether it was theft, or robbery, or all together, I don't remember. He was a bad guy. That's understandable. From here, those who leave more or less become people, and those who left can be counted on the fingers. And why do you need it? It's just interesting. Katya shrugged, smiled, and hugged her mother. Thanks, Mom. If it wasn't for you and Grandma, then I don't even know if I would be alive now or not. Don't thank me. I just fixed what I did myself. Katya and her husband decided to finally move to the village. They bought a big house. Mom started living with them, and a year later, they came to the conclusion that they want more children, but they did not give birth themselves anymore. They took 4 more from the orphanage, and Katya was on everyone's lips again. The whole village knew her, but now not as Katya the fat woman, but as a happy woman, a mother with many children and a beloved wife. That's the story. What do you think about this story? Write your opinion in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.